All right, my fourth remix, man, and again, this was off some old hard drives where I lost everything. So all I have are the reason files. I don't really have any of the building blocks that I use for it. So anyway, I'll just go through the reason stuff real quick. Um, this was a remix I ended up doing for Redman and Method Man. How High track. I had that CD single that had like the instrumental acapella and all that stuff like that. So this one again, just experimenting, playing around. I had like a bunch of effects and stuff in there. I had a sample, and then I was using a lot of the stock Reason sounds because I was really trying to see like what kind of sounds Reason had in it, and if it had, the I don't remember how many gigs you install when you first get it. I want to say it was like 4 or 6 or something like that, but I can't remember. But I was just trying to go through their kits to see, their abstract kits had like a lot of sounds that I liked and stuff, and doing the same thing I was always doing with, doubling up the boom bap stuff and trying to just play around with stuff I normally wouldn't play around with, like saxophone sounds and trombone sounds and trumpets, trying to layer them, just experimenting and really trying to learn. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just playing around and using my ear to try and figure out what I wanted to do. So for like the trumpet, this was the sound that uh, I ended up playing out pretty unfiltered, no reverbs or nothing like that on it. Um, Threw a trombone in there and even a sax. And so, I just layered those three sounds. And, part of me doing that was because I was trying to work with the sample. Now, the sample I pulled off a CD that I found in the library of like Scottish music or something like that. So this was the sample. And hearing it, you can hear a lot of potential in that sample. You could probably flip that a million different ways if you wanted to. So it's in the. I want to say it was in the kit, but it's not in the kit. If you know a way to extract it out of the Reason published file, maybe you have a screen capture program and you can play it and record it out or something, or find something similar. But I don't have any more. I lost it off that hard drive. But this is ended up being how it sound layered together. So I also threw in a guitar stab, which was this. I think I threw some delays or something like that on it. Yeah, there we go. So I threw in a delay. And then this is my percussion section, which is pretty busy. So two different kicks. I don't even know where my snare is. I thought that was the snare. Oh, you know what? See, this is how this is how lost I was. I don't want to say lost, but this is just how I was doing stuff back then. See, I had on pattern A1 on the sequence or the step sequence pattern deal, I put the snare on the 1 and the 9, or basically if you were to chop something to 4, I put this on the 1 and the 3, which is what I don't even do it like that anymore. So at the time when I did this, I had no idea what was going on really. So I just put in the snare to use that as something to sort of tempo and layer everything over. So everything else I played it or programmed and or put in through MIDI, but this was through the step sequencer, and that was the snare. So the snare was on the 1 and the 3, where I normally put it here, 2 and a 4. But this is just how early on this was before I even started doing things that way. And so the snare is not even really in here. I have it in some spots. Again, I don't know what that's about. But so anyway, this is what the percussion sound like. And so this is how it all sounds put together. And then of course, I saved the trombone and the trumpet for the chorus, and just put some things changed up here and there. And then what I also did was I again auditioning different Reason beats to the Logic the vocals that I had in Logic to do the whole remix in. This actually was a beat from another track, so I won't even go too in depth about this one. But basically, it's a slow down version of another beat, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Whoops. If you speed it up, and that was another beat that I used for another remix. So in a way, it was kind of, I don't want to say cheating, but again, I was still learning. So what I did was I had a beat that I used for something else, auditioned it with the Redman and Method Man vocals, and ended up liking it, and then just bouncing it down and throwing that out there. And again, still learning how to get around in Reason and Logic. And so I thought that was really cool, how you can just have beats that you did for something completely different, bring it into another project, and then hear it, and then you end up with something that you weren't even planning on trying to do. So anyway, I'll get into that one in another video. But download this one. It's not a kit or nothing, but you can play around, tear the Reason files up or whatever if you are interested. Get at me, man. I'm in the shred at gmail.com.